Hi everyone, welcome to Salad TV. My name is Salad Mwangi. I would like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to get any notification and new uploads of any videos that I might upload on a weekly basis. For notifications, make sure you check off on the bell so that you can get notifications on your YouTube. So make sure first you subscribe, that way you can get any new updates from my channel. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to Salad TV. My viewers all over the world, Europe, Canada, America, wherever you may be, thank you again for coming on to my channel. I love you all and thank you for all your support that you have given me so far. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you get the latest updates on new content that I post on my channel. Today, we have a special guest that would like to share their story with us. We will be talking about some personal life challenges that they have gone in their life. And if you would help me welcome Bishop. Bishop, can you please introduce yourself better to my viewers?
Thank you so much, Sally TV, for giving me a chance to say hi to Sally TV viewers. Um, my name, as you have heard, Ben Bishop Ben Mwangi, and I'm the Bishop of Gospel Power Center Churches, and I'm saved. I love the Lord. Thank you.
Well, Bishop, thank you for coming to our channel today. Can you tell us a story maybe you have gone through in your life? You had faced some really hard times that you didn't even see yourself where you are today.
Thank you so much, Sally TV viewers. My journey started when I was very young, and I was born just like any other child,
Right.
and but only that I was born to a very poor family. I was born in a family of 8 children, and it happened that my parents were really poor. I think we were the poorest in the village.
Wow.
I was born in Gatondo, Ishaweli.
Okay.
That's where the former president comes from, and the current president, President who comes from. But there are poor people in that village, and that's we found ourselves to be the poorest.
Right.
And it was a struggle when I was growing, especially because my dad was a drunkard.
Wow.
And I think most fathers that time in the village, most of them had not known the Lord, and most of them were spending a lot of time on alcohol. And I know there are still people who are doing that even today, but during that time, there was a lot of local brews like Moratina, Mongari, as we knew them.
Right.
And because of that, our family was very broken because my father and mother kept separating, fighting, and because of my father's alcoholism, he was going to jail often. And at one time, I remember when I was young, about 7 years old, they separated, and my father went to jail, and my mom could not take me to her maternal home.
Right.
And she's from Ukambani and Machakos, and she could not go with me because my grandfather had put a word,
Right.
which I don't know whether I would call it a curse or an omen, but he had said that anybody who is named after him would not be taken to, out of the homestead.
Right.
And therefore, my mom could not take me with her when she was going with the other children.
Right.
And it was very hard for me because my father is in jail,
Right.
and my mother has carried all the other kids. I was young, and I was left to fend for myself.
Wow.
And it was hard.
So Bishop, how did you survive this whole time being that young and being there out alone with your mother gone and your father gone too? How did you survive?
By God's grace. I think the seed of God takes care of his people even when they're very young.
Right.
I think the Lord took care of me because at that time, I remember it was around the long lanes, around the month of April when we have the long lanes.
Right.
and usually around those times, there is no way I could get firewood, or I was able to get fire. My dad only had 1 acre land,
Right.
and in it there were no trees or a forest where I could get wood.
Okay.
And so I would use the stools, the wooden stools in the house, or the table. I would slice it with a machete, a panga,
Right.
and that's how I would cook. And for me to cook, because there was nothing in the garden, I had to steal from people's farms, in their gardens. And I would wait in the evening and go to somebody's garden, and I would get the corn, corn or potatoes or sweet potatoes or ripe bananas or something.
Wow.
At least I survived by stealing.
Okay.
Uh,
Did
some-
you ever get caught when you were stealing?
Good question. I don't say what I would say I was caught or not caught, because I think everybody knew it was me.
Right.
And I was that child who was not very loved when I was very young, and because I looked like the abandoned kid. I was the most rejected, I would feel, or I felt
Right.
that time, because I had jiggers all over my feet. I had,
Can you explain what jiggers are for maybe someone that doesn't know what that is?
Jiggers are insect. They start as insect like free,
Okay.
but they get into your skin
Right.
most of the time, either between the toes or under the nail, or usually around
Right.
the feet area. And when they burrow under the skin, they enlarge, and if they are not taken out after some time, that area where the skin, where they have eaten the skin,
Right.
it becomes a wood, and they fall
Okay.
off.
Right.
But you would have woods all over,
Okay.
and I had wood all over under my toes.
Wow.
Right now, if I remove my shoes, you could see I don't have some nails, because they were removed by the jiggers.
Right.
And it was very hard for me. So, but what happens is, if you have jiggers, if you're invested in jiggers in your feet, when you walk, as you try to look for an angle to walk,
Right.
you find yourself stepping sideways, and because of that, and the toes are up. You
Right.
try to keep your toes in the air. You will not walk on
Walking
grass like
normal,
this,
yeah.
or on sand, because it's very painful.
Right.
And therefore, when I would go to somebody's garden, because I was stepping sideways, they would know that's my step, because I didn't have shoes.
Yeah.
They would know this is me, and they would measure and say, this is Akane Kapen, this is Kaben,
Yeah.
this is him. They knew it is me.
Right.
But they did not beat me up or anything. They knew my parents were like that.
Right.
So it was a very hard beginning, but I also, at the same time, my grandfather, who I'm named after, took me back to school. I started taking care of me. After some time, there were some good villagers who also, I would go there and eat.
Right.
And therefore, I love everybody in my village because of their caring heart. When they realize how my family is, I would go to somebody's house, and I wait for them when they are cooking supper. At least I'll get a portion
Yeah.
with the other kids, and that's how I grew up. And because of that, in myself, I hated poverty.
Right.
Up to date, I hate poverty. I hated it, and because of that, I worked very hard. When in my primary school,
Right.
I did everything I could. If it's running, if that could make me the best student, I ran, and therefore I used to run marathon.
Right.
I have certificates to show that I did it for my school. I was in the school choir. I remember me and another a young man who was a little bit older than me. His name was Rafael Jeroge. We used to sing at during parade in primary school. We used to read prayers, and because I wanted to do everything I could. And when it came to doing my final exams, I did the second KCPE, and I led in my school, and I believe I led in my division because I worked very hard, and I wanted to do anything I could to get out of poverty.
Yeah.
And I understood the only way to get out of poverty is working hard, and if it's school, getting the good scores and going to high school, and I did all that.
Right.
And in my family, I was the first one to go to high school, and I also became the first one to go to college. I did everything I could.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I mean, what would you tell somebody, like, if they were looking at your life and the way you explain it? How would you tell somebody, you know what, that's not the end. I want you to push on and overlook that. And also a lesson about alcohol and how it had destroyed your family's relationship. amongst all of you?
This is what I would encourage somebody. Poverty is not the end.
Right.
But I would also say that poverty is a source of a lot of poverty. I mean, alcohol is a source of a lot of poverty in a lot of families. My family was that way because of alcohol.
Right.
And because of that, I hated alcohol. Up to date, I still hate it.
Right.
And viewers who are listening at me, let me tell you, I hate alcohol. And it is
Yes.
a bad thing. It's a destroyer of destiny.
Right.
Alcohol is a destroyer of destiny. And I thank God it was not able to destroy my destiny, that the Lord rescued me. It was the hand of the Lord that rescued me.
Okay.
And I would just tell everyone who is listening that if you love alcohol, that's the wrong thing to love. It's like loving the devil. That will steal your destiny. It will destroy your kids' destiny. It will destroy your family. It's a killer. And please get out of it.
Right.
Any kid who is born in such a family, I will tell them, if you are where I was, do not give up. You have a responsibility to work hard and to trust God.
Right.
So work as hard as you can, hate that thing called alcohol, and put your efforts in whatever your hands finds to do, and trust the Lord that you are not going to end up like that.
Amen.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Bishop, for this session. We will be back in another episode with Bishop to continue on a story about how he became the man he is today. So make sure you subscribe and watch part 2 of this, because this is a good story and it's a good way for people to learn about what makes a person who they are today. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe. Press that button. Thank you.